Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Charlie Cobra Reviews, and this is going to be our review for #Alive. This movie was really good. I like how it seemed really relatable, especially because of his isolation and what a lot of people are dealing with right now during the pandemic. I thought it was pretty well done. I did kind of notice that although it was, pretty mature in nature, it seemed more of a PG-13-ish movie instead of a rated R one. And what I mean by that is, it had plenty of violence and blood, but there were just certain scenes, the way they were done, like, where another zombie movie would really zoom in and focus on the gore and the blood and the gruesomeness of a scene. That instead in this one, they kind of showed where there was something in the scenery blocking, you really seeing something like that from happening. There were some really good effects for the zombies and some gruesome scenes. Like I said, it's just, that's something that, I noticed very early on in the movie. For being such a self-contained movie, plot-wise, it was pretty good, and the action scenes were pretty realistic. None of the main characters came off as, action heroes in this movie, but yet, whenever they fought off the zombies, it looked, like something that people would actually do. I have more to say in the spoiler section, but for now, I'm giving this movie an 8 out of 10. From this point going on, there will be spoilers. Like I said, this movie was really good. I was surprised with how much I liked it. As I said earlier, it seemed really relatable because of the isolation that so many people have dealt with during the pandemic. Also, the main character, Jun Woo, was very likable, and I was rooting for him from the beginning. His situation is bleak as things go from bad to worse pretty fast. First, he can't get a hold of his parents, then he runs out of food, the internet goes out, the water's cut, then the power goes out. Oh, and that scene with the lady cop getting killed was just horrible. I mean, for me personally, getting eaten alive is one of my worst fears. And when she hesitates to shoot herself and then gets dragged away, man, that was just terrible. At 10 days, he starts running out of food. At 15 days, he hasn't eaten like in 4 or 5 days already. So, he starts thinking about really going out there, to scavenge around for food and supplies. Also, a part that was really sad was when he gets a message from his parents, and he's reaching out to get the signal to actually hear it. And, from the message, it sounds like they're getting attacked and killed. There's a really sad part, too, where he kind of, he hasn't been eating and he's been drinking this bunch of alcohol bottles that is the only thing that's left. And, he has this memory of hugging his mom. That was, that one kind of got me a little bit. And then, he decides to kill himself by hanging himself. And that's when he finds out that he's not alone. A neighbor from the apartment complex, Yu Bin, gets him to save himself by contacting him with a laser pointer, letting him know that he's not alone. They begin getting to know each other and helping each other out by sending supplies back and forth. After he's able to get a drone to send a rope over to her. And she's a pretty cool character, she definitely kicks ass. The way she exits her apartment when they make a run for the 8th floor, and that she just rappels down in one go, like, man, she was beasted. There were a couple of things that bothered me, but not that much. Like one, I thought that the power was lost, for good when the city was bombed and the power went out. But, both he and her are using their phone and tablet to communicate from afar. Also, there's this part where, he's about to use his drone, but it was out of charge. And then, later he uses the drone to get the rope over. Although it's a different drone, it still made me think, did they get power back? I mean, it didn't really show. Also, the girl officer whose death was so tragic, it looked like she dropped her ammo and was only able to load like maybe 1 or 2 bullets into it. Yet when Yu Bin recovers the gun and uses it to kill the man on the 8th floor, who lures them into a trap, and his wife, then later on, when Jun Woo uses it on the roof and shoots at least 2 more times, if not 3, So I'm not sure how they got 5 bullets in there when it looked like she only loaded, maybe one, maybe two. But anyways, not a big deal. Like I said earlier, this was a really good movie, and I give it an 8 out of 10. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to check out this review. This was movie number 15 of our 31 Days of Halloween Movie Challenge, so stay tuned to the next scary movie review. Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.